Let's all take some deep breaths. Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this July 4th, 2021. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Let's take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Breathe together. Start to let go of distractions. Let go of the outside world. We feel our oneness here with everyone seated in this room and with everyone hearing the sound of my voice, everyone watching remotely. There is no space and time and spirit, and so we are truly one, connected in this moment by divine appointment. Let's take another deep breath in. Exhale. And if you'd like, please stand and we will sing our congregational song. Now allow yourselves to drop down into your heart space, that place where our awareness of the divine is heightened. And just breathe. Here on this 4th of July in this nation, those of us who can hold the high watch, affirm that yes, we are love, we are one. We are one big family. We are a nation of many peoples, race, creeds, and colors. And yes, indeed, we are love. We are one big family. Continue to breathe deeply, breathing in love, bringing in joy, breathing in harmony and unity. Remembering who and what we are, unique divine expressions of the divine, every single soul, every single person, no matter where we're from, no matter how and where we worship, no matter our heritage, our ethnicity, we are love, we are one. One big family. Divine expressions. Each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. Continue to breathe deeply, breathing into that feeling, into gratitude, feeling a sense of freedom in your hearts, in your minds, in your souls, and in your bodies. It's this peace, this feeling of unity and harmony that we have right here in this moment that can start to unite this country and everyone on this planet. Everything starts in consciousness. So we breathe in this moment, continuing to open heart and mind, preparing ourselves for this experience together today that will be special and unique because of the beloved souls that have gathered here to participate. So we just remain in this peaceful place as we sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
All right, everyone, happy 4th of July. You know, I guess you could tell it from my shorts that it is. That's right. And why don't we all together just do a beautiful little blessing to all our beautiful children. Let's go together. children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. Yes, we do. And today's word is from Inspirational Moment, and the word is wisdom. Universal and infinite intelligence governs everything. The intelligence that governs the planets in their course is the same wisdom that is in the anthill or the beehive. In the animal kingdom, it works as a blind force. In the human kingdom, it works through blind force only in the automatic reactions of nature, such as involuntary functions of the human body. But the more personal use of it depends upon our personal choice. That is what freedom and individuality means. Today, I am guided by the wisdom of God in everything I do, say, and think. Since there is nothing large or small in divine mind, I know that the same wisdom that governs everything in the universe is brought to bear upon the little things in my personal life. I know how to plan my life and direct my path because I recognize that infinite wisdom is doing this for me by doing it through me. There is one wisdom, one intelligence, one mind. I live and move and have my being in this one. So if you guys will repeat the affirmation with me together. I live and move and have my being in the one. I live and move and have my being in the one. I live and move and have my being in the one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You call me out upon the water, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me,
long ago, Mengelé's finger did point to my fate. He chose for my mother to die. He chose for Magda and me to live. At every selection line, the stakes were life and death. The choice was never mine to make. But even then, in my prison, in hell, I could choose how I responded. I could choose my actions and speech. I could choose what I held in my mind. I could choose whether to walk into the electrified barbed wire, to refuse to leave my bed, or I could choose to struggle and live, to think of Eric's voice and my mother's strudel, to think of Magda beside me, to recognize all I had to live for, even amid the horror and the loss. It has been 35 years since I left hell. The panic attacks come at any time of day or night. They can subsume me as easily in my own living room as in Hitler's old bunker. Because my panic isn't the result of purely external triggers, it is an expression of the memories and fears that live inside. If I keep myself in exile from a particular part of the globe, I am really saying that I want to exile the part of myself that is afraid. Maybe there is something I can learn by getting closer to that part. This is from page 205 of Edith Eva Eger's book, The Choice. Embrace the possible. Edith and her family were sent to Auschwitz when she was 15 years old, and she spent about a year there before they were liberated by the American soldiers. This book is probably one of the most powerful things I've ever read in my life. And she's talking about an invitation she got to speak to people back in Germany 35 years after she was there during the Holocaust. And she's wondering whether or not she should go back. She's heard of people who had gone back to visit concentration camps, and they were transformed and they were able to rid themselves of some of the nightmares, some of the pain, some of the angst and anger and anxiety they carried from that time decades ago. She also heard of others who had gone back, and the pain was so great, they died shortly after they returned home. So she's considering, do I go back to make this speech she's been invited to give? And these are the words she writes as she's considering that choice. She remembers that during the hell of the Holocaust, that every single moment she had a choice to live or to die, sometimes not at her own hand, but at someone else's. That there was somebody picking people out of the line and saying, you will die, you will live. You are going to be subjected to experimentation, and you are going to work in a factory. You are going to pile up bodies into a mass grave, and you are going to collect bones, bodies, hair, take people's belongings. It was a hellish, hellish time. And yet, she says that she has choice. She has freedom of choice in hell. In hell. In hell, she calls it. Freedom of choice. You know, I had a conversation with a family member, and we were talking about holidays, and she was surprised that the 4th of July is one of my favorites. because she thought as a black woman that should not be. And do I know I live in a country that has its challenges? Sure. Do I know people who have suffered because of prejudice and bias? Yes. But I also know that I live in a country that has a foundation called a Constitution and a Bill of Rights that is the ideal to which we aspire. And that makes me proud. That makes me proud. And the ideal is high. The ideal is work for most of us. It's work for a government to make happen. And there are a whole lot of moving parts, thanks to our founders, that should make it possible for all of us to experience freedom and equality in this country, and yet we fall short. We have fallen short hard sometimes. But I hold the ideal. I love the ideal, the things that we aspire to. And the founders of our country themselves were falling short at the time those documents were written. But they knew that there was something to aspire to that was greater than themselves and greater than how they were living at the time. Walking this path of life is the same. We have the ideal, we have unity principles, 5 principles that are work to express in our lives, and we often fall short, don't we? Every single day we fall short in some kind of way. Whether it's that we forget that we are indeed divine expressions, and that we forget that God exists everywhere in all things and expresses through us. And it's not that God is not there when we do something contrary to the good. God is always there. Good is always there. The ideal is always there. It's always the foundation to which we aspire, and yet sometimes we still don't hit the mark. But that's okay, as long as we keep trying to hit the mark. It's okay. We have to remember the ideal. Edith Ava Eger remembered the ideal, that there was something to live for her. And she hung on to the fact that she had her sister behind her, and that her boyfriend that she last saw when her family was ripped away from their home, she would remember his voice speaking to her, and the love she felt for him in those moments when she was experiencing hell. And I think here in this country, what we have to do when the stuff's hitting the fan is remember the ideal. Remember those of us who express unity and harmony as often as we can with everything that we have inside of us. Those of us who are willing to hold the high watch, even though we're aware that sometimes we fail to hit the mark. At least there's a mark. We were thankful for the mark. The title of this chapter is Then Hitler Won, because she thought that 35 years after the Holocaust, if she had not gone on that trip and made that speech and gone back to Germany, in the area where Hitler had his headquarters, that she would have let Hitler win 35 years after she and her loved ones were liberated from Auschwitz. She goes on in the next paragraph to talk about legacy, because she said it's not always about this time that we live, it's about the legacy that we want to leave. It's not always about the here and now. It's about what do you want to leave for the rest of the world, for your loved ones who come after you when you are no longer here. Do you want to leave a legacy of anger, pain, judgment? Or do you want to leave a legacy of transformation, of growth, of love, of peace, of harmony, and the willingness to always try to hit the mark? To be persistent, relentless about trying to hit the mark. Yes, the mark's up here. But I think it's okay if we just get here, even if we started way down there. We just make our way up, 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 up. And the more those of us who can see the high watch and hold the high watch, the more that we do that and we hold the high watch, the more others have the space to do the same. We give them permission to do the same. We give them permission to do the same. Yes, sometimes we fail. And sometimes we fail miserably. Everybody probably has a story about something they've experienced that was painful in this country. Others around the world can tell you stories about pain. I don't know that there's a people, a group, a nation, a nationality, an ethnicity that has not suffered something. And too often we run to our individual corners exclaiming that our pain was bigger, harder, worse than yours. Because we did it for this many years, or because it was at this person's hands, or it's because they're still around, or somebody didn't say they were sorry. Nobody said, "I'm sorry" to Edith Ava Eger. Nobody. Nobody said they were sorry. And even though 35 years later she's still having panic attacks, she went back to Germany and made that speech not far from where tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people were victimized in the midst of mass graves. Miles from abandoned ovens where people were killed and gassed. Yeah, we got some work to do. But the work is never somebody else's. The work is ours. Everybody's got something to heal. Everybody's got something to heal. And the more we point fingers at somebody else, the more time we lose in getting something done. The more we wait for somebody else to apologize or to make it right, the more we continue, I think, to suffer pain. Our anger doesn't always hurt the other person. Sometimes it might. but it always, always, always hurts us. Our hatred, our judgment, sometimes the other people know about it, the perpetrators. It always, always eats at our insides. Even if we're justified. Even if we're justified in our anger and our pain. There's still something that eats away inside of us when we hold that negativity. Nobody's pain is greater or smaller than anybody else's. Nobody's responsibility is greater or smaller than anybody else's. We, as human beings, if we truly believe we are one, we all carry the pain, we all carry the responsibility, we all carry the capacity to heal what is going on. So that our children and grandchildren, our nieces and our nephews, those of us who are younger than us, who are going to follow behind us long after we're gone, we are the ones who can create the shade for them, the shade that allows them to live a better life. A life overflowing with harmony and unity. A life overflowing with love. Not the dysfunctional type that's got strings attached and everything else. The universal love, the love with a capital L, the love that is God, the love that heals all things, bears all things, heals all things, bears all things. That love. That's a tall, tall order. I think every single generation thinks we're going to hell in a handbasket. They do. Every generation thinks, oh God, this is, what's happening to us? And yet we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. And I believe as long as we're still here, that there is always hope. And that we're still here to do something. Other than sit on our butts in the chair and wait for somebody else to start first. For somebody to make it right. For somebody to start the charge towards love. For somebody to open up their heart a little bit more, to open up their minds a little bit more, to be quiet a little bit longer, to hear somebody else's point of view, to possibly empathize with them. To perhaps say, I don't know your pain. I don't know your pain. But I know you're trying just like I am. And we may not believe the same things. We may not worship in the same places. We may not have come from the same kind of culture or background. But I know that you want to be loved like I do. I know you want peace like I do. I know you want to sleep soundly at night like I do. I know you want to be proud of where you live like I do. I know you want a fair shake like I do. You just got to be willing. You just have to be willing to hold the high watch, to keep the ideal here and here in our hearts. And no matter what happens, to speak of the ideal, to think of the ideal, to say, yes, I know that's happened. Yes, I can see it happening now. And perhaps it'll happen tomorrow, but we still have the ideal to shoot for. And I'm going for the ideal. And I'm inviting you to come with me. And yes, I'll go first. Yes, I'll go first. So it's more than just standing here and singing. We are love, we are one big family. Sounds good. Beat is nice. We are love, we are one big family. And then we go home and we start some stuff.
I say no. I say no.
Say no to the stuff.
I say no.
Yeah, it's easy to sing the song. And yes, I know it's hard to live the song in the moment. Edith Ava Eger knew it was hard in the moment. People were running towards the electrified fence because they wanted to die. And she said, I choose not to run to the electrified fence in the midst of the hell. She saw the stuff happening. Man, that was some stuff hitting the fan, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And she still said no. We've got to stand up like that and say no to what you don't want, denials, and say yes to what you do want, affirmations. Denials and affirmations, part of our unity principles. Those are the things that help us raise our vibration and keep our eye on the ideal, keep our hearts on the ideal.
We are the voice.
We are the voice. And we can be the voice of freedom every single day. Every single day. Every single day, no matter what's going on. You can choose not to run to the electrified fence. No matter how many others are running for the fence. The ideal, God in everything. We are love, we are one big family. And depending on the family you had, you might be saying, whew, okay. I don't know about that. We're talking about family with a capital F. Where divine love is who and what we are and what we express. And that we know that each of us, no matter how many times we fall, how many times we fail to hit the mark, that we are still love. That I will love you no matter what you do, no matter what you say. Doesn't mean I have to invite you home, but it means I love you for who you are. An individual, unique expression of the divine. We are love, we are one big family. Let's take this into meditation. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Breathe into love. Breathe into choice. Breathe into freedom. Breathe in. Knowing that with every breath, we have choice. With every breath, we can be love. With every breath, we can be harmony in the world. With every breath, we can accept every other human being, every single human being, just as they are. Individual, unique expressions of the divine. So in this moment, we first accept ourselves as that divine being, as that divine expression. We commit to loving ourselves as divine expressions. We commit to holding the high watch, to remembering the ideal, to remember that when we fail, we can give ourselves grace. When others fail, we can give them grace. We can forgive. We can remain open. We can extend ourselves in ways we've never extended ourselves before. And we can speak words of unity, harmony, love, peace, equality, equity, inclusion. Just breathe, knowing that the peace of God permeates everyone, everything. Knowing that you can return to this peace no matter what your outer circumstances are. No matter what the circumstances are, this peace that you feel right now is possible, is waiting for you to return to it, to claim it once again, and to express it into the world. And through our energy, we can positively affect everyone else on the planet. For love will always be greater than any negativity that exists. Love conquers all. Love bears all. Love heals all. And so we say yes and thank you for love. We say yes and thank you for love. The love that is God. The love that is us. As unique expressions of the divine. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So we know that Source is God, and that everything in our lives flows from this beneficent energy. Everything in our lives. And so we now recite our celebration of giving together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is. Hit it, maestro. Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you rhyme. Cats sit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble, and eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble, and eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. I've got to find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble, and eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Find your corner of the sky. Let's give thanks for all the time, treasure, and talent that flows into this community. All the love of all the people who come here, who listen to us online. And we know that this love, this support, this time, treasure, and talent allows us to continue to do the work that we are called to do as a community, to spread a message of peace, love, joy, prosperity, harmony, and unity all around the world. And so it is, and so it shall be. Now let's take a moment to pray for those who are in our hearts and minds this day and call their names out.
Susan,
Anne, Molly,
The family of two special people, one who crossed over last night, one who is moments away.
For Reba and Eddie, for Vicky, for Cheryl, for David, for Danielle and Tony and Dave Bion, for PJ and Melinda, for Neil, for Deborah, for Cheryl, for Georgette family,
For Beth, our friend.
for the Delamore family, for all of these that we have named and all those we have not named in this moment, but who are truly in our hearts and minds. We know that they are whole, perfect, and complete, and that their highest and best is at work in their lives at this very moment, in all moments. And so again, we hold the high watch, knowing that there is goodness, there is the good at the back of all things, through all things. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Announcements, please, sir. So I sent out a survey about our activities that we're thinking about doing here as a community. So that was emailed out on Friday. Please take a look at that. It only takes a minute to do. There are 5 short questions, and one of them, you just have to fill in your name. Simple, simple, simple. So if you're struggling, I don't know, give me a call. That might be a different conversation. But please look at that, and if you didn't get it, I will, after a couple of days, I do send it out again to those who have not opened up the email and done the thing. So don't worry about it. Probably tomorrow, Tuesday, I'll resend out to those who have not opened it. But please take the minute to fill that out, because we'd like to know what kind of fun things would you like to do as a community. Last weekend, we all went out to the Chicago concert down at Fair Park and had a blast. A blast. We had so much fun. These are really these are just good people to be around. So if you want to come in and just have that feeling of community that we've missed for so long because of the pandemic, let's do it. So we want to know. We want your comments. They count. So please give us your information. Next, please. So I'm still doing the grief support group on Zoom. I'm now doing it twice a month. So the first and third Wednesdays of every single month. So this month it's July 7 and 21. So it's for if you're suffering grief or loss, and it's loss from anything. It doesn't have to be because of the passing of a loved one. So if you've got an empty nest all of a sudden, a serious diagnosis, suffering from the pandemic, there's still people who have anxiety about that, or feeling isolation and fear and don't know what's coming up next. All of that counts. So irrespective of the loss, just come, and it's a place to talk and let go and listen and get insight about how others are navigating grief. Next, please. So our second Saturday's Community Coffee House starts this Saturday. Get your tickets now. There's limited seats. And this talented woman right here, Robin Hackett, is our debut artist. She's bringing a very talented guitar player with her. I know she's good when she's here on Sundays, but you don't know what Robin Hackett's like in concert. Oh my God, it's like this times 20,000. That's right, it's a Robin Palooza. So you gotta be here, you don't wanna miss this. It's not gonna be online, it's only here. It's a house concert, it's here in the room. It's not gonna be on Zoom. You gotta be in here with the people, have a good time. We're gonna have refreshments, and down home, just come as you are, wear what you want, relax, have a good time, listen to great music. Robin Hackett's gonna hit it out of the park again. Robin Hackett. So second Saturday of every single month starts this Saturday, 7 p.m. So you can get tickets from a link on Facebook, on our website, and you can even go to Eventbrite and just search for Second Saturday's Community Coffee House.
Bring friends.
Bring
Is
friends.
dancing allowed?
You probably will dance.
You can even bring people that you don't like, but you're trying to like. So go back and listen to today's talk and bring some people. And you'll fall in love with them by the time the evening is over.
I'll get in here.
So a week from today, we're celebrating our 32nd anniversary as a community. So we're having a potluck, so bring food, and we are going to have the big stuff. The meat's already taken care of. Please RSVP so we know how many people are coming. So you can either text me at 618-YES-USCS.
And sign up for side dishes, we have it on the board out there in the.
Yes.
Or let us know.
You can let Dia or Cece know what you would like to bring so that we don't have like 500 deviled eggs.
That actually happened.
That actually happened, yes. We had a lot of deviled eggs. And thank goodness we have a lot of people who love deviled eggs. You come here.
We'll really blow the roof off.
Did he just go there? Mission and vision, sir.
Okay,
Thank you. I
here
didn't
we
know.
go. All right, guys, I hope y'all had fun today. I did. So let's do our mission and vision and mission together, please. All right, here. We are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers transforming lives through love and the expressions of our innate divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teachings and demonstrations of unity principles towards the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now, and everything is always working out for us. Yes.
If you'd like to stand up and sing our congregational song. Wait for the lyrics. In this moment, in this place, I see God in every face. In perfect love we gather round, standing here on holy ground. Grateful that we are together, grateful for all that we are. Grateful that we are together, grateful for the love and the joy that we share. Hold this moment, hold this space, for we are held in perfect grace. Being together side by side, feel the love, the floodgates open wide. Grateful that we are together, grateful for all that we are. Grateful that we are together, grateful for the love and the joy that we share. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday morning with us. It is your presence, your energy that makes this the best place to be on Sunday morning. Have a glorious week. Namaste.
Namaste.